Susan B. Anthony was born in Massachusetts in 1820, into a Quaker family with a strong belief in equality and social justice. From a young age, Susan was passionate about advocating for those who were marginalized and oppressed. In the mid-1800s, Susan became heavily involved in the women's suffrage movement. At the time, women had very few rights, including the right to vote, own property, or receive an education. Susan worked tirelessly to promote women's suffrage, giving speeches, organizing rallies, and writing articles and pamphlets. One of Susan's most famous speeches was, "Is it a crime for a citizen of the United States to vote?" in which she argued that women were just as much citizens as men and deserved the right to vote. In 1869, Susan and her friend and fellow suffragist, Elizabeth Cady Stanton, founded the National Woman Suffrage Association. Together, they worked to challenge laws that discriminated against women and promote women's suffrage. Despite facing opposition from those who believed that women were too emotional or too delicate to handle the responsibility of voting, Susan and Elizabeth persisted. They organized protests, picketed the White House, and even went on hunger strikes when they were imprisoned for their activism. Susan died in 1906, 14 years before the ratification of the 19th Amendment to the Constitution, which finally gave women the right to vote. Today, Susan is remembered as a tireless advocate for women's rights and a pioneer in the fight for gender equality. Her legacy continues to inspire people around the world to work towards a more just and equal society.